So Teqplay developed a digital twin. How can you use the data resulting from this digital twin to improve the performance of your terminal, of your port, or of your vessel? Let me give you an example. So we focus on the ECT Delta terminal, one of the container terminals in the port of Rotterdam. We've been collecting all timestamps of all vessels visiting this terminal and been working them up to a level that allows you to get insights into the port turnaround time. So how long does it take for a vessel visiting your terminal to actually get into the port and leave again? So basically we see on this dashboard that the port turnaround time of my terminal is 28.66 hours, which is slightly higher than the average that I'm comparing it with. Digital twin is measuring not only my terminal, it's not only based on my information, it's also measuring the data of competitive terminals. So here we see that we're comparing the ECT terminal with RWG, Euromax, APMT and the ECT Delta 2. We can immediately see that there's a lot more calls on the ECT terminal compared to the other terminals. But of course, in order to provide a correct assessment, you also need to know not about the amount of calls, but also about how many containers or how much cargo was being transferred during those calls. So basically, we also give insights in the call size classes. Not only the call size classes, you can actually get any kind of view on this. So you can focus on the vessel size, how large were the vessels arriving, you can focus on the shipping line, etc., etc. What we help you to do is give you an oversight how the port turnaround time has been developing over time in the past period. And we also allow you to do a deep dive because the port turnaround time is composed of a couple of different components. One of the most important ones, of course, where there's possibilities to work on, is about the waiting time. The next one is about the steaming in, the terminal stay time, and the steaming out. So let's dive into the waiting time, allowing us to get a little bit of a deep dive on how the waiting time is impacting my port operations. In the waiting time report, we can actually see the number of visits that had the waiting time have been involved with the waiting time. That can be total waiting time, anchorage waiting time, or maybe the lay-by waiting time, vessels waiting in a certain lay-by. I can also see how many vessels were actually waiting outside or inside the port. What type of vessels were that? Is there any trend related to how many vessels have been waiting outside? Or maybe if I want to see not only about how many vessels have been waiting, or the percentage of vessels that have been waiting, but also about how long they have been waiting. So for example, I can see here quite easily that in the 4,000 to 8,000 TEU category, there were the most of the vessels that have been waiting the longest, so to say. I can also see that I'm doing slightly better than my competitors in this case, because my average waiting time is 4.6, the competitor is 5.8. If I actually want to see the detailed drill down, I can actually see all the information that is underneath, all the calls that are actually providing the information on the screen. I can click on them and get a drill down to allow me getting an insight on what exactly has happened for this specific call and what has been resulting into the waste or the waiting time for this vessel. So we see all the information about the vessel, we see the information about the call, what time did it arrive, where did it arrive, how long has it been waiting. We can actually see an overview on the details of this call. How much time has it been waiting, which different terminals have been visited, and also that has been specified out in the bottom part. So this way, it does not allow you only to get the overview on the trends, on the overview on the benchmarking with your competitor. It also allows you to drill down and see for specific calls, for specific vessels, where did you lose your time, and how can you actually can you help it to be fixed there? I think that's in a nutshell giving you an example of what we can do with the data from the digital twin in an automated way.